So, today we're going to unpack the latest financial results for a Japanese tech company called CEC. But listen, this isn't just about one company's earnings. This is really a story about a massive wave of change that's sweeping across Japan and how CEC is right in the perfect position to ride it.
And that's really the big question here, isn't it? Because this is so much more than just the balance sheet. It's like a snapshot of a huge economic shift happening in Japan right now. And CEC is smack in the middle of all of it.
To really get why CEC is doing so well, we first have to zoom out and look at the environment they're operating in. And let me tell you, right now, that environment is basically a perfect storm of opportunity.
You see, for years, a lot of Japanese companies were running on older, legacy IT systems. But that is changing, and it's changing fast. There's this huge national push for what everyone's calling digital transformation, or DX. Businesses are literally racing to upgrade their technology, and that has created this enormous, almost insatiable demand for the exact services that a company like CEC provides.
So how is CEC capitalizing on this massive trend? Well, the numbers, they really speak for themselves. Let's just take a quick look at how they're doing compared to this time last year.
First up, net sales are up a really impressive 14.7%. That's a huge jump.
And all that strong demand, it translated directly to the bottom line. You've got operating profit growing by a very healthy 9.0%.
And to complete the picture, net profits saw pretty much the same growth, up 9.6%. So this tells you it's not just a company that's selling more stuff, it's one that's operating efficiently and, very profitably.
Now, seeing percentages is one thing, but this is what I find really interesting. This slide puts it in real terms. Last year, sales were sitting around 41 billion yen. This year, they've jumped to over 47 billion. That is a significant leap. And it kind of begs the question, where is all this growth actually coming from, right? To answer that, we've got to pop the hood and look at the different parts of the company's business. Okay, so CEC is basically broken down into three main areas. You can see the integration segment is the biggest piece of the pie by far. It makes up about 2/3 of the whole business. So let's break down what each of these things actually means.
All right, the integration segment. This is CEC's bread and butter. All those companies we talked about needing to modernize? Well, this is the team that goes in, rips out the old stuff, and builds the new, modern IT infrastructure that a business just has to have to compete today.
And wow, this core business is absolutely booming. It grew by a massive 16.5%. The report even specifically calls out these huge projects they're doing for the auto industry and the government as major reasons for all this success.
Okay, let's move on to the connected segment. This is, you could say, the more futuristic side of the business. It's all about the Internet of Things, IoT, and big data. They're the ones building systems that let factories pretty much run themselves, or that help car companies analyze all the data streaming in from their vehicles.
Now this segment saw a bit more modest growth, up 3.4%. And while that's not as explosive as the other areas, hey, it's still positive, and it shows they're making steady progress in these really advanced fields.
And finally, we have the solution segment. This is where CEC gets really smart. They package up all their expertise into their own products, and they're placing a huge bet on two of the absolute hottest areas in tech right now, cybersecurity and data centers.
And let me tell you, that bet is paying off spectacularly. This segment grew by an incredible 22%. I mean, with cyber attacks constantly on the rise, the demand for security services is just through the roof, and CEC is perfectly positioned to meet it.
And this slide, this just brilliantly illustrates the company's whole strategy. It's a two-part play. You've got the massive, stable integration business acting as their foundation, and then you have the super high-growth solution business acting like an accelerator, just pushing the entire company forward. It's a fantastic model that gives them both stability and this incredible explosive potential. A strong quarter is great, of course, but what does it mean for the rest of the year? Let's take a look at the company's forecast and what this all means for investors.
The company is clearly feeling confident. They're sticking with their full-year sales forecast of 62 billion yen, which is a solid 10% increase over last year. And get this, they're rewarding shareholders for it, planning to bump up the annual dividend from 55 yen all the way to 65 yen per share. That's a strong signal. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, right? From national economic trends all the way down to specific business segments. Let's just pull it all together and summarize the main takeaways. Because this is the question on every investor's mind, isn't it? Can they keep this going?
Based on everything we've seen, what are the most important things to remember?
Well, I think there are three main things. First, CEC isn't just a good company. It's the right company at the right time. It is perfectly positioned to just ride this massive digital upgrade happening in Japan. Second, this is not a one-trick pony. Its foundational business is rock solid, while its specialized security segment is growing incredibly fast. And finally, the company's leadership is sending all the signals of confidence that this momentum will continue, and they're putting their money where their mouth is with increased returns to shareholders.
So, when you look at the whole picture, CEC isn't just a company having a good quarter. It's basically a case study in how to capitalize on a fundamental economic shift. It shows what happens when a well-run company meets a massive wave of demand, and it really just leaves us with one final thought. Who else is going to ride this wave?